Taiwan may get 9-day Lunar New Year holiday next year. Taichung to build NT dollar for 0B multi-purpose dome. Taiwan choir performs at Pope Leo XIV's audience. Chemical plant blast in China. France's National Assembly votes to legalize assisted dying. South Australian residents reject Musk's battery factory plan. A tool trial could help reduce food waste. Japan introduces rules to curb outlandish baby names.
Hello everyone, I'm Oceana. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Thursday, May 29th, International Day of UN Peacekeepers, and here are our top stories. And for today's Taiwan news, Taiwan may have a 9-day Lunar New Year break next year if adjusted holidays are approved. 3 new national holidays, Confucius's birthday, Taiwan Retrocession Day, and Constitution Day, have been added to the calendar. Labor Day will now be a nationwide public holiday for all workers across the country. Taichung Mayor Lu Xiuyan announced a new 30,000-seat multi-purpose dome in the Shuinan area. With over 40 billion NTD in investment, it will host sports games and large concerts. It's expected to be completed in 4 years. The site requires no land acquisition or demolition and is well connected by 2 MRT lines. Taiwan's original children's choir surprised the crowd by performing the Bunin clap song at Pope Leo XIV's public audience. The Pope warmly acknowledged the children as from Taiwan. The moving performance was broadcasted worldwide, inspiring thousands of pilgrims. And in global news, at least 5 people have died and 6 more are missing after a large explosion rocked a chemical plant in eastern China on Tuesday. The blast spewed a towering plume of gray and orange smoke into the sky, damaged windows in nearby buildings, and prompted a rescue operation. The incident occurred in the workshop of Shandong Youdao Chemical in Gaomi City, just before noon local time. No reason for the explosion was given.
A further 19 people suffered minor injuries. Videos circulating on Chinese social media showed smoke engulfing buildings in an industrial park. The footage showed that windows in some nearby low-rise buildings were damaged. Local fire and rescue services dispatched 55 vehicles and 230 personnel to the scene, while the Ministry of Emergency Management sent a working group and rescue reinforcements. Shandong Yaoudao Chemical is owned by Himail Group, which also owns the listed company Himail Mechanical, whose shares were down nearly 4% on Tuesday afternoon. The company develops, produces, and sells pesticides, pharmaceuticals, and chemical intermediates.
France's parliament has voted in favor of a bill to legalize assisted dying, paving the way for caregivers to help patients end their lives under what campaigners say would still be among the strictest conditions in Europe. After a sometimes emotional session, deputies passed the first reading of the bill by a vote of 305 to 199. They also unanimously backed a less contentious law establishing the right to palliative care in specialist end-of-life institutions.
In this moment, I'm thinking of all those I met over the last decade who were ill and their loved ones. There are days we know we'll never forget. I will never forget today. Thank you all.
Both votes mark the start of a long parliamentary process that will require the bills to move on to the Senate, the upper house, and then back to the lower house, the National Assembly, for a second reading. The legislation would allow a medical team to decide if a patient is eligible to gain access to a lethal substance. When they have expressed the wish, patients would be able to use it themselves or have it administered by a nurse or doctor. Patients must meet a number of strict conditions. They must be over 18, hold French citizenship or residency, and suffer from a serious and incurable, life-threatening, advanced or terminal illness, that is, irreversible.
Elon Musk's Tesla is one step closer to opening a factory in Adelaide suburb, despite overwhelming community opposition fueled by anti-Tesla and anti-Elon Musk sentiment. On Tuesday night, the City of Marion Council voted to seek state government approval to sell the site to a developer who will build the factory. Environmental concerns and fears that the site would attract protesters were also cited among the 95% of people who submitted objections to the proposed battery factory.
Many voiced their opposition with words that were censored in the city's official records, such as Elon Musk and Tesla are redacted on humanity. Tesla sales have slumped amid a backlash against Musk for his work with the Trump administration, including slashing funding for government departments through his Department of Government Efficiency, as well as his ideology and actions, such as what some viewed as an apparent fascist salute. However, Marion's mayor, Chris Hanna, said blocking the sale of the site would have no impact on Musk and would cost 100 local jobs. The factory would be used to recover and recycle Tesla lithium-ion batteries.
Millions of meals worth of wasted food could be redistributed thanks to an artificial intelligence tool being trialed by companies across the UK, including Nestle. The AI tool, which has already generated an 87% reduction in edible food waste at one of the Swiss conglomerate's factories during its first 2-week trial period, is intended to design out food waste by providing real-time monitoring, tracking, and insights into wasted ingredients and products.
Under the pilot scheme, Nestle said that up to 700 tons of quality surplus food, the equivalent of up to 1.5 million meals, could be saved. The trial is also estimated to prevent up to 1,400 tons of CO2 emissions, helping to save up to £14 million in running costs. Alina Sartogo, one of the co-founders of Zest, which developed the tool, said all the food wasted identified was edible, but not sellable at a profit for manufacturers. For example, a broken Kit Kat bar or a product with an expiry date that's too short to sell to retailers. The Zest software could be expanded across the food supply chain on a subscription basis by March next year, following a series of pilots with different manufacturers.
Parents in Japan will no longer have free rein over the names they give their children, following the introduction this week of new rules on the pronunciation of kanji characters. The change is intended to curb the use of kira-kira names, which have proliferated among parents hoping to add a creative flourish to their children's names, creating administrative headaches for local authorities and, in some cases, inviting derision from classmates.
While the revisions to the Family Registry Act do not ban kanji, parents are now required to inform local authorities of their phonetic readings, in an attempt to eliminate unusual or controversial pronunciations. Only officially recognized renderings of kanji characters will be permitted, as the government seeks to end the confusion that outlandish names can cause in schools, hospitals, and other public services. The government has described the emphasis on standard pronunciations as a way to simplify the digitalization of administrative procedures, but it is also seen as an attempt to slow the spread of quirky and, to many, unfathomable given names.
The answer for yesterday was B, catastrophe. The earthquake was a major catastrophe that affected thousands of people. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. Japan introduces rules to curb outlandish baby names. Number 1, rein, 缰绳, 控制, 约束. The manager tried to rein in the spending to reduce costs. Number 2, proliferate, 激增, 快速繁殖. Smartphones have proliferated rapidly in the past decade. Number 3, controversial, 有争议的, 引起争论的. The new policy on education was highly controversial among teachers and parents. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section, and the correct answer will be announced next week. This day has a rich history dating back to 1948, when the UN deployed its first peacekeeping mission, the United Nations Truce Supervision Organization, to the Middle East to monitor the armistice agreement between Israel and its Arab neighbors. This initiative marked the start of a long-standing tradition of peacekeeping by the UN, aimed at maintaining peace and security worldwide. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm your host, Oceana, and I'll see you next time.